Dear our respected and beloved Agaw Media followers, how are you? Agaw Media continues to provide with reliable, timely information. To ensure that Agaw Media remains a good source of information for you, we ask for your support. If you are new to Agaw Media, please share, like, and subscribe to help spread the information to many. Now let's dive directly into our timely and relevant commentator. Why Ethiopian government can't defeat Fano, strategic failures and regional fallout in case of Agaw Awi Zone. By Worke Debasu, Agaw Media's regular commentator. The Ethiopian government has repeatedly claimed to have eliminated Fano. In reality, these declarations amount to nothing more than bluffs and propaganda, according to observers. The government's approach to Fano has been reactive rather than proactive, preventing it from achieving a durable solution. Anyone familiar with the political history of the Amhara region knows that the Ethiopian current rulers made profound strategic mistakes at the outset of its confrontation with Fano. These early miscalculations, and the government's inability to reverse them, have left it with little chance of defeating Fano in any meaningful or lasting way. Further details of these strategic errors were discussed in my commentary published last year on Agaw Media. Popular complaints against Fano. According to independent observers in the region, until the end of 2024, the atrocities committed by Fano and its collaborators were largely confined to the Agaw Awi Zone. Fano's activities in the Awi Zone were reinforced by support from the government, academic associations, wealthy individuals, and members of the diaspora. Until the fourth quarter of 2024, the Amhara public remained largely and openly sympathetic to Fano. As a result, neither the government, the general public, nor even individuals condemned Fano's atrocities against the Agaw people. These atrocities amount to one of the most extensive campaigns of destruction since the Nazi genocide against the Jewish community in Eastern Europe during the Second World War and the 1994 Rwandan genocide against the Tutsi minority. Fano's atrocities is not limited to the killings, lootings, and the burning of towns and villages. It also includes the occupation of homes and land by Fano members and their supporters after displacing thousands of Agaw residents from Ayehu Gogusa, including Ehudit, Dadi, and Inavara, and Zigam, Sorit, Jawi, and Kwara. For those unfamiliar with the situation, this account may appear exaggerated. However, I urge them to conduct an independent fact-finding investigation to uncover the truth. By the end of 2024, however, public enthusiasm within the Amhara society began to decline gradually for various reasons beyond the scope of this discussion. Feeling betrayed by the very people it claimed to defend, Fano's leadership began to adopt harsh measures, including abductions, killings, ransom demands for hostage releases, and other widespread abuses. These actions deepened the rift between Fano and the Amhara public, fueling resentment and opposition. In some cities, even government-organized anti-Fano demonstrations were observed, where citizens called for peace and respect for their rights. The government, however, overemphasized this development and claims a sense victory over Fano. Meanwhile, Fano sympathizers within the ruling Prosperity Party allegedly declared Fano's total elimination to mislead Abai's administration, effectively giving Fano time to rearm and regroup. According to reports, these officials even supplied false intelligence regarding Fano's activities in several areas, including Awi Zone districts, Ayehu Gogusa, Zagam, Sorait, and Jawi, Kwara, and more recently, Metekel and Dangur. Taking advantage of this window, Fano consolidated its strength. While the Prosperity leadership celebrated a false sense of victory, Fano made strategic gains as follows. 1. Capture of Kwara District. In mid-2025, Fano took control of Kwara District in Gondar after a year-long campaign marked by repeated attacks on the indigenous Agaw population. Following 12 months of fighting, the Agaws, who had been defending themselves, ran out of ammunition and weapons comparable to Fano's. Consequently, they were overpowered, with children, women, and elders massacred, homes burned, and residents permanently displaced. Despite the scale of these atrocities, no government security forces intervened to assist the Agaws of Kwara in their struggle for survival. Boys Kwara as a strategic corridor. Since the destruction of Agaw villages and towns, Kwarajas remained under Fano control. This victory allowed Fano to establish contacts with Eritrea, the TPLF, and Sudan, enabling it to import heavy weaponry. For instance, in June 2025, Fano reportedly received 28 trucks loaded with weapons, ammunition, and communication equipment through Kwara, a shipment significantly larger than the usual small-scale smuggling conducted on camelback. It would be naive to assume such a large transfer occurred without the knowledge or consent of the relevant government security and party networks. Upgraded weaponry and expanded operations. These new weapons transformed Fano's military capacity. The group's enhanced arsenal was evident during its invasions of Java Kabele in Bele, Dangur, BG, July 20-25, 2025. Armed with sniper rifles, B-10s, DSHKs, and other heavy weapons, Fano attacked the Agaw community of Java, burning 694 houses, displacing 3,570 people, and massacring women and children. Once again, no government security forces intervened. Despite the scale of these atrocities, no government security forces intervened to assist the Agaws of Kwara in their struggle for survival. Boys Kwara as a strategic corridor. Since the destruction of Agaw villages and towns, Kwarajas remained under Fano control. This victory allowed Fano to establish contacts with Eritrea, the TPLF, and Sudan, enabling it to import heavy weaponry. For instance, in June 2025, Fano reportedly received 28 trucks loaded with weapons, ammunition, and communication equipment through Kwara, a shipment significantly larger than the usual small-scale smuggling conducted on camelback. It would be naive to assume such a large transfer occurred without the knowledge or consent of the relevant government security and party networks. Upgraded weaponry and expanded operations. These new weapons transformed Fano's military capacity. The group's enhanced arsenal was evident during its invasions of Java Kabele in Bele, Dangur, BG, July 20-25, 2025. Armed with sniper rifles, B-10s, DSHKs, and other heavy weapons, Fano attacked the Agaw community of Java, burning 694 houses, displacing 3,570 people, and massacring women and children. Once again, no government security forces intervened. Despite inflicting massive destruction, the battle did not favor Fano. According to Fano sources, more than 147 of their fighters were killed, many ambushed by local farmers. The surviving Fano units retreated to Kwara. Following their defeat, Fano sent elders and priests from Kwara to Java to initiate reconciliation efforts, reportedly paying ransom to key individuals as part of the process. These efforts appear to have succeeded, allowing Fano to shift focus toward Dangur and Metakel. According to a recent plan obtained from a Fano coordinator in the diaspora, the group intends to encircle Metakel from two directions, via Zigam and Dangur. Currently, large numbers of Fano fighters are camped around Zigam, Sorite, and Ambala, and the attack on Ambala, September 23, 2025, and the recent re-invasion of Dadi Kebele are both parts of this broader strategy. 4. Ideological revival. Fano's successful external alliances seem to be paying dividends domestically as well. Its Fano can win ideology is experiencing a revival with visible sympathy among certain Prosperity Party elites. Why Fano is concentrating on the Agaw Awi zone. There are several reasons Fano has concentrated its operations in the Agaw Awi zone. The following points summarize the core motivations based on credible neutral sources. 1. Ethnic and religious hostility. Fano's leadership and advisors have repeatedly expressed hostility toward non-Amhara and non-Orthodox groups. Documents and statements from internal meetings reveal that one of Fano's objectives is to eliminate non-ethnic and non-Orthodox populations from the region. This explains the group's special focus on the Awi zone. 2. Poor armament of Agao militias. The Agao self-defense forces lack adequate weapons, ammunition, and secure communications. Most are armed only with outdated Kalashnikov rifles and a few bullets each. Whether this shortage is due to corruption or deliberate neglect, it reflects serious leadership failures. 3. Leadership changes in Fano infiltration. Following the zonal leadership change in early 2024, many anti-Fano resistance members were reportedly arrested, killed, or sidelined, while pro-Fano individuals were promoted. Fano has viewed this as an opportunity to displace defenseless Agaws and seize their homes and lands, as seen in Jawi, Ayehu Gogusa, and Zigam, Sorite. 4. Demoralization of Aga militias. Reports indicate that the Ago-Awi militias are deeply demoralized, mainly due to a lack of trust in the zonal leadership, which is perceived as sympathetic to Fano, and restrictive policies by the ENDF and anti-strike forces, which prohibit local militias from using captured weapons. This policy has caused frustration among Ago fighters who believe they should be allowed to use captured arms to defend their communities. 5. Corruption and collusion in gold mining. Some Prosperity Party officials are reportedly collaborating with Fano in illegal gold mining operations around Ayehu Gogusa and Sorite. A recorded conversation between a Fano member and family allegedly named specific officials involved in these operations. Source: Strategic Political Objective. Fano and its allies believe that defeating the Awi zone and Metakel is a precondition for toppling the regime in Addis Ababa. This belief remains a core ideological principle within the movement. Can government structure-led campaign can defeat Fano? It is highly unlikely that a government-structured led campaign can defeat Fano or sustainably control its activities, such as killings, abductions, looting, and the general destabilization that has rendered the region ungovernable and insecure. The experience of the past 2 years demonstrates that government-led operations have only provided temporary or superficial solutions. The main reason, as briefly discussed above, is that many officials within the Prosperity Party, PP, remain more loyal to Fano than to their own party. In such a complex political environment, it is improbable that the government can decisively eliminate Fano once and for all. At this stage, there appear to be only 2 realistic options: either to reach a durable settlement through meaningful political negotiation with Fano, or to pursue an alternative course. The first option, genuine negotiation, would likely be the more effective path toward lasting peace and stability in the region. If Fano proves unwilling to pursue peace, the remaining alternative would be to authorize an independent, non-governmental campaign against Fano. This option is particularly critical in non-Amhara zones whose populations have faced genocidal violence. Such communities must be empowered to defend themselves and ensure their continued existence as a people. The potential effectiveness of this approach can be gauged from Fano's own reactions. In 2024, reports surfaced indicating the formation of an Agawawi militia known as the Survival Movement. News of this development caused significant alarm among Fano leaders and their allies within the Prosperity Party. In coordination, Fano leadership and sympathetic government officials reportedly allocated millions of birr to dismantle the group, a campaign that ultimately succeeded. By mid-2024, the Survival Movement was reportedly disbanded due to resource constraints, according to close observers. A senior Gojam Fano coordinator based in the diaspora expressed on phone conversation his satisfaction over the collapse of the Survival Movement. He stated that Fano does not fear the Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENDF, as it maintains extensive influence within government structures. However, he admitted that the Agao militia posed a genuine threat, given Fano's prior combat encounters with them in Injibara and Zigam. If adequately resourced, he warned, the Agao militia could rival Fano's power. Considering that this assessment came from a senior Fano coordinator in the diaspora, the second option, an independent, community-based defense campaign, appears to be a viable alternative. What comes next? The entire battlefield appears likely to shift to the Amhara region, particularly Wollo, Awi Zone, and West Gojam, as well as to Metakel in Benishangul Gumuz. This shift has a strategic objective, which is beyond the scope of the current discussion. In the meantime, an unexpected shift in the balance of power may occur during the process. History demonstrates that social movements driven by shared objectives can generate powerful momentum. The common goal of removing the Addis Ababa government has already united former adversaries, including the TPLF, Eritrea, and Fano. If the balance of power shifts in Fano's favor, many of the political forces, including strike forces, currently aligned with the government may realign with Fano, driven by shared interests and ideology. Given the political history of the region, such developments would not be surprising. What remains is to observe the evolving dynamics and see how this volatile situation unfolds in the months ahead. I hope you listened to my previous discussion on possible a voluntary union that can be formulated with conditions listed in the previous video. If you have feedback, you can forward on respective video. Wishing you a wonderful time until we meet again with my next article.